You've had a lifetime of giving service. It's not over yet. You're sitting next to Agnes, who is following in many ways in your footsteps.
Oh.
But what is the message both of you together want to tell future Humphrey Fellows and people who might be listening today about the importance of leadership and service?
Well, Agnes said something this afternoon this morning when the gentleman posed the question from Senegal about why don't you go into politics. And she was being very respectful of her government. And she said, and I fully agree, that you make a difference wherever you are. You don't have to be in politics. In community service and beginning at home in your local communities can have an impact that you would never have imagined. And just watching the footage or the photos that you shared with us, it confirmed for me that that happens even today in small ways in the United States. So my message is that you don't have to be someone with an important title. If your commitment to caring for the least of these, your brothers and sisters, is genuine, you can have an impact.
Yep.
And do you think that impact is being realized?
One thing, I believe in celebrating even the small things.
Yes,
that's what I tell people, that those small things that you think are small, add up. And you may think it is small to you, but the person whose life you are impacting, it's a big thing. Giving a child an opportunity to go to school, giving a child an opportunity to believe in themselves, they can do it. Helping women that they can build these houses themselves, having a roof over their head. You don't have to run for office to do that. So for me, it adds up. And after all, even people who have made millions and all that begin from somewhere. And so those steps, yes, you will have people running for office, but believe it or not, they need support from others. So it's not the title. So let's go beyond, the titles. We've seen people leaders without titles, but they are making a difference in this world. Yeah.
You've had an opportunity to meet President Clinton. You've had an opportunity to meet many American diplomats, ambassador, as well as Mandela. Nelson Mandela. We're in South Africa. What you feel the spirit of that leadership there, and these were male role models. Although you spoke articulately this morning about Madeleine Albright, Secretary Albright, and her role model for you. But can you talk about here in the 21st century how we need to make sure all genders are out there on the leadership forefront, whether it's in the small ways you talked about or on the political stage?
Well, I must say I observed very carefully from the moment I got off the plane how people interact in the airport. And the driver bringing me here, and we talked about the new leadership in in Cyril Ramaphosa, who of course goes way back in the history, and he's indeed someone who relates to what transpired during the time of Mandela's life. And I see, as I watch people in restaurants, people of all colors interacting in a way that I never thought would be the case in South Africa. Now, how sincere it is, I can't say. But on the surface, I don't see that tension and that immediate distance that I know existed during apartheid. So I do think that there is a lesson, in fact, in just the fact that one can interact in a social setting, in an airport, in a car, in a restaurant, without being looked upon with suspicion. That's a big step.
After meeting these leaders, be it President Clinton, be it President Obama, be it, the female leaders, there's one thing they have in common. They are very humble. That humility, and when you meet with them, they can make you believe you can take over this world. So to inspire, to motivate, a person like, Nelson Mandela, despite the fact that they did so many cruel things to him, to still have that place in his heart, to be so forgiving and so loving, and telling even to the people who've done wrong things to that, you come on along. We can do this all together. That is hope, and that is really giving people, that platform, to do things regardless from where you are, that we are all a people, whether you're white or black, whatever color or whatever part of the world you come from, you have something, to contribute to the world we live in. For me, servant, definitely, I see it where I serve. I serve in a community where, dominating, for example, in law enforcement, training. You find that I'm the only woman and I'm in charge of a team of trainers, many times male and all that. But to let them know that, yes, I might be your leader, but we can all do this together. And for them to believe in me, as a woman, and not to get it into my head that, oh, I'm the commandant, and all that, and make everybody feel that, we are a collective. That we're a team and we can do this together. And despite the fact that I'm a woman, I have a lot, to put at the table. And I respect, what they bring in and motivate them, to work with me and to work with other people. So really that servant, leadership to make sure, like I said, don't let it get into your head that as you move forward, actually the more you move up the ladder, the more humble you should become. Yeah.
It's the 40th celebration year, or will be officially, for the Hubert Humphrey Program. Can you talk about what that means? You sit in a unique perspective with IIE looking down on the program, helping making sure that it continues to open doors to wonderful people like Agnes.
For me, this afternoon, yesterday afternoon rather, and this morning, was incredibly uplifting. It's one thing to read on the papers and the applications and talk to other members of the board about the impact of what Humphrey Fellows have done, but it's another to hear it. And yesterday I heard it from so many people who were indeed humble.
Yeah.
Titles are something that are not important if you are really, truly involved in servant leadership.
Yeah.
And it is hard for a lot of people to understand that. But the Humphrey Program has a unique perspective. It's very different from Fulbright professors, students, and other exchange programs. One, you are already in a profession when you are applying and become part of the Humphrey Program. You're not going to grad school. Nobody's there to kind of coach you through your new academic experience. You're involved in communities. You see how communities interact. I don't know another exchange program that does that.